How you all doing? Good afternoon from my end. This is 12 p.m. Today, the 6th or the 8th day of June 2024. I think it is 1:12 p.m. Biafra time now. For those of you who are welcome wherever you are to broadcast. In a while, I still want to appreciate you guys who are steadfast, who are consistent, who are positive, and who are on the path of truth. It is very, very important that I appreciate you as always. I do, whether I am on broadcast or not. I no more broadcast the way I broadcast before because I don't know. I seem to be restricted so many times because before I know it, the day is gone. Before I know it, the day is gone, and it becomes like, hey, should I be able to discipline myself? However, the word discipline in the sense that creates time to see that speak to our people as have always done in the past. Almost still want to appreciate those who are still a part of truth because even if people like me come out or not, you already are in line with Mazen Namdekano. You understand his precepts, you understand his narrative, you understand his mission, you understand the vision. And so you have everything in you that would keep you on the path of truth. On the path of truth. Today, we shall be looking at the easiest way to gain freedom. We keep talking about freedom. We want to be free. In fact, everybody wants to be free. That is why in the world today, the countries and nations that have all the power, controlling other nations, want to still hold on to that power, whether rightly or wrongly, to control other people because they want to remain at the point of being free to control other people. It's critical, but I still know that in spite of however we look at it, freedom is a complex word because it has been defined by so many people, based on what they actually have in mind and what they want to achieve. Freedom is defined by people based on what they actually the narrative they want to convey to the public, and the narrative they want to tell themselves as to making up their mind to do whatever they want to do, whether rightly or wrongly. If the Son will make you free, you shall be free indeed. So you know that freedom is a narrative of truth. Hence, if you are seeking for freedom and you are not following the narrative of truth, you can't get freedom. You can only oppress for a while. You can only manipulate for a while. You can only deceive for a while. You can only continue to do what you have to do for a while. But when your downfall will come, it will come like a thief. Jesus was talking about, um, a thief, being taken over like a thief. When poverty takes over somebody who is lazy, it takes over you like a thief. It just, you see, truth is something that you can never ever defeat because it always stands the test of time in spite of the test. Because the truth here is, if there is no test for truth, then truth does not have a yardstick to be measured. So why, let me ask you this. Why is Mazen Abikano where he is today? It's because the truth that has made him, designed him, created him, given him the mission, sent him on the errand, given him the responsibility and the duty, and given him every material he needs to exude or carry out the narrative of the mission that truth has sent him to accomplish, need to be tested by the forces that truth wants to defeat, to install the kingdom of God. And so today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is where he is, but yet you could know that he is truly on the path of truth because he is still resilient, holding on to what he believes, not mincing words, not changing. And those of you who have knowledge, if you look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu very well, you can tell whether those who are claiming to be fighting for freedom for you are actually on the path of truth. You see, sometimes we don't want to utilize our brains or our senses. We just want to believe something because we are moved by emotion. I've told us that emotional reasoning has a way of destroying constructive reasoning, because emotional reasoning is supposed to be subject to constructive reasoning, because emotion helps you concentrate in what you want to reason about. But when you just concentrate emotionally without the faculty of reasoning, you tend to emotionally deduct. And when it is defined by emotion, definitely it will always have a problem, because emotion is sentimental. Reasoning is factual. So most of the people jumping around all these criminals, like Simon and other people, I don't want to be talking about these people because that's not the need. But I'm beginning this broadcast with this so that you can understand where I'm going. Because I want to take you through the narrative of freedom so that you'll understand what first freedom represents. You can't talk about freedom without knowing this. The first thing you must know about freedom is that there is something called truth. Truth is what sets the agenda for freedom. True freedom. Indeed, freedom indeed, because scripture says, if the Son makes you free, you shall be free. Indeed, there's a freedom that is not indeed. Let me give you an instance. Today at is the people when they gave criminals to fight, and when those criminals fought, the people thought, but they didn't scrutinize all the people they were giving their support to free them. When you seek freedom, there will always be wolves coming in sheep clothing to make you give them their consent or your consent to help you fight for what you think that you want. And if you are emotionally driven, you would be misled. If you go to the book of Matthew 24, I think I'm going to give you this from that point. After Jesus had talked about, the destruction of the temple in 3 days, and of course, and when the disciples asked him, and when would this be, and when the end time would be, and he started talking about the things that are going to happen in the end, was given basic activities that would make people understand that it is already end time. Jesus now said something. Let me say Yeshua Mashiach, because I don't know if we say Jesus, it means so many things. It means something different to the British. It means something different to some other people. But when you say Yehoshua Mashiach, we're talking about the one sent to redeem humanity. So I'm talking about God, man, Christ. I'm talking about the God, man now, the Christ. I don't know whether my network is unstable, but please bear with me. Because I'm home, I'm not in the office. So, at home, I don't always receive a very good network from the Wi-Fi. So, if we're in the office, it will be better anyways, even if sometimes it's fluctuating. So now, Yeshua Mashiach said something. He said something when he was talking about the end time, when the end shall come. He said, the days shall be shortened If the days are not shortened, just go and read Matthew 24. I want you to read it to the end so that you don't begin to look at one place. What is the verse? No, go and read from top to the end so that you try to get information. Understand when you read scripture, read from the beginning point to the end for every verse, read it to the end. If you don't get it clear, go back to the previous verse so that you can understand. If you don't get it clear, you go back to previous scripture and make your findings and get book of studies, and all of that, and you'll be able to study and understand these things, because most of the things we are seeing happening right now, especially those who are fighting the Omenala. They don't understand that Omenala is actually the Omenala they are trying to my network. The Omenala, the worship of demons and evil. It is the real, genuine Omenala. Omenala is the lifestyle of God, the true lifestyle of God, which Christ exemplifies, which Christ proves and approves. If you look at everything Christ represents, talking about completing the commandments, love, he said, I have come to fulfill the commandments. I've not come to destroy. I've come to fulfill. He talked about love, concluding all. So if love is what he preached, then what are you talking about? Omenala is supposed to be about love. Because the reason why we have different nations succeed in those times before evil came in, when people began to bring evil into the worship of God in our land, it was about love. Love for community, love for the people, love for God, love for worship. Worship the true only God, Chukokike. So don't mind those people who are telling you about Omenala, Omenala. If I pour wine on the ground, doesn't mean I've worshipped an idol anyways. That's the truth. Because in our tradition, we pour wine on the ground. And as a sign of reverence, it is not because we are giving wine to God. God does not drink wine. But because we are giving reverence to those who have come before us. When we talk about ancestors, we're not worshiping them in the real sense of Omenala. You don't worship them. You only reverence them. You only give them their place, their honor, because you came from a lineage. That is why God will tell the children of Israel, I'm the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they always make references to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So when we pour libation or something, in the real sense of Omenala, if you want to be truthful in the real sense of it, if that is poured, then it should be poured for the real fact of reverence to God, whom our true ancestors, those ones who truly worshipped God, Chukokike, not those ones who worship demons. Because you must specify, if you are talking about our ancestors, which one? Because there are so many of them. There are some of them who were very wicked and evil and devilish, devious, diabolical, and terrible. There are some of them who caused us the problems we are in today. So you can't just generalize our ancestors. No, our ancestors which truly or who truly followed Chukwukike. These are facts. These are basic. So now you must acknowledge this. Christ said in that Matthew 24 that except the days be shortened, the elect might be deceived. What and who are the elect? Those who believe in the truth and the love of God. But those who come with, in guise of being sheep, who are wolves, who will come in sheep clothing, would manipulate so much that even the elect might be deceived. That's what scripture says, which means that in Biafra project, or in anywhere in the world where people are seeking for freedom, you must take cognizance of the fact that there are people who would pose as the sheep to come to hijack and make you believe in them, to think they will fight for freedom for you. Look at what is happening in Sudan. Sudan today, the people who claim to be fighting for the people, whom the people give their support, are now in government, and now there is this fighting because the government itself is doing everything for its own sake. For the people are still impoverished, suffering. Another group comes up. No, we too, it's our turn to steal. They want to take over. The rapid response, RF, forgotten what they call them. RF, rapid response squad or something. I don't know what they call it. They also formally they worked with the government, the current government of Sudan. Together they worked together, and they got to where they are now. Today they are fighting for that position. This one feels that this one is not doing them fine. We also have to get out. This one tried to get support of some of the criminals from the west, who also want you to continue to fight within yourselves, so that they could keep supplying you weapons, and then you keep selling your wealth cheap to them. When you sell your wealth cheap to them, they give you weapons. The material, your wealth, your natural resources they would have bought, for instance, let's say if it is supposed to be sold for $100, they now buy it from you for $4 and then give you weapons. You see, so they use your natural resources, produce so much, and then tell you that the value of what they are collecting from you is less than what they are going to give to you. And then you now buy weapons with the money or the resources of your people. And because you want to sustain yourself in power. So those who are in power want to sustain themselves, no matter what they're getting, how low the money is coming, as long as it's consistent, coming consistently. They want to secure themselves at the expense of the people. Look at what is happening in Sudan. Look at what is happening in Biafra land now today. Because before I go into the easiest way to gain freedom, I will give you these narratives. I want to give you some analysis. Today, Butuzo's brother has been caught and killed. Butuzo is the criminal working for Simon. Gentle also working for Simon. Gentle has butchered so many people. I will not be able to play the videos here, because if I play some videos here, you will be shocked at what Simon's boys are doing to our people. I'm talking about butchering them as if they are Fulanis. That is why we must investigate who these people are. Some of them were born by Fulani people who impregnated our girls today. That's why I get so angry when I see video of a girl who here, she's always going to the Fulani corner or the Hausa corner and going to, you see our little girls going there because of little monies that are given to them. Because they will be impregnated and they'll give birth to these people who would now bring foreign behaviors into our land. How can someone who calls himself a Biafran, who is a true Biafran, take a knife the same way Fulani does and be cutting somebody's neck? This is what Gentle, Butuzo, and all these guys are doing. We have video evidences. This is what they are doing. Are these ones Biafrans? And you are still funding the guy who is in Finland to give these ones money to continue to threaten the people. Today now, look at what happened at Aba. All of you know what happened at Aba. Why didn't he stop what happened at Aba? But he's busy on social media reporting what is happening. The soldiers are killing people in Aba, killing our young men. And he's telling you, also bragging, that his men are getting, but yet the soldiers are still in control in Aba. They are everywhere. Go to all those places. Soldiers are there. But he will come online to tell you that they are dealing with them. Is it to go and hide and kill somebody and run away? Is that what we're talking about? If you are in control, you are in control. You can't say you are a government and you don't have a place you are controlling. You can't be a government and don't have a territory, the whole of Biafra land. Even your local government, you're not controlling, and you're in Finland. And yet people who claim to be reasonable are supporting and giving him resources. Look at what Gentle Butuzo and all those criminals working for the criminal in Finland. Look at what they are doing to our people. If I show you a video of how they cut people's heads, for this particular lady, they cut, oh my God, you would weep. But these are people working for these guys. These are people working for the people you are claiming to be your champion. Have you ever seen Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have any of his commander kill somebody and it comes to his ears and he doesn't come publicly to condemn it and make sure and tell the people that this person must be caught? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come all out and say it. But yet the criminal in Finland doesn't say it. He keeps telling you to bring money. Yeah, we are dealing them, we're defeating them. They are killing our people, butchering our people, cutting their heads like Fulanis do. Is that not a foreign attitude? If I play the videos here, I don't think YouTube will accept. They may block they may block my channel. If I play the videos here, some gruesome videos of Gentle, of course, we know Butuzo is there because he's second in command to Butuzo, killing for Simon, cutting the heads of our people. And yet he will come to social media, tell you that he's Look at what is happening in Aba. Is he in control of Aba? But he's boasting, bragging on social media, telling you that his men are dealing with them. They have killed this, they have killed that, they have killed how many people, they have killed those people, the military have killed this, we are coming for them, we're going to show them, we're going to do this. What is that? Do you need all those things? Is it social media? How many people, even Fulanis, did they come to social media to brag before they do? It is when they are through with their stuff, they show you the evidence. And these ones are evil people. Now you claim to be genuine, you come on social media bragging because you want the people to believe you are working so that every Saturday they'll be giving you money. And you guys will be funding him. And you think you're going to, is that the path of freedom? You can get freedom that way. So I'm giving you the ways you can never have freedom. You can't have freedom in those ways. Just have it in mind that if you continue to support these people, whether Chinansa, whatever his name is, whether Chikedozian, whether Nena, whether Simon, whether Kanunta, all of them, none of them are fighting for freedom for you. So you better hold your resources and wait for when Mazin Kanu will be out and wait for the next instruction. That is what you should be doing. I've told those people, I've been sending messages. Those of you in communities, stop funding these people. Wait for Mazin Kanu. Nothing is going on. They are just stealing your money. Nothing. They are just sustaining their men on ground, criminal men on ground who are stealing for them, who are working for them, taking people, kidnapping people for ransom, and creating havoc. They want to be in control like these fighters in Sudan so that they can control the people, begin to take the resources if they have the opportunity, which they have not yet been able to achieve. That's what they want to achieve. And you are the one, the same thing the Sudanese did. They were funding all RSF. It's RSF, Rapid and something forces of Sudan. They were funding these people, RSF, funding this current government in Sudan when the fightings were going on in the 90s. They were funding these people, thinking that these people were fighting for their interests. Now these people are in government, they are suffering. Today, the RSF is fighting the same government that they were in partnership fighting the other time. Then they agreed how they're going to be sharing the loot with the West. Now today, the West also has sat back and now incites the current government because the interest of these ones are not secure. So they need to succeed. They need to succeed. They need to succeed so that they can take over the resources, not for the interest of the people. Not for the interest of the people. Hello? 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 Yes, please, can you give me about, because I'm doing a live broadcast now. I'll just call you immediately after the broadcast. Yes. Yes. So now you see that these people are actually working against you, but you don't know it. Check what is, use Sudan. Anytime these things happen to you, use Sudan to understand, get sense. Somebody like Mazin Kanu is so obvious that this one can never steal from you. It's obvious now. Madam Ego, you're here. Really terrible of them. Association of Zombies, they are all. I just opened the message. I didn't know there was a message here. Anyways, good to have you here. They keep donating their money. That's the thing. But I keep warning them. The truth here is none of these people are going to give you freedom. So let me give you the ways you can get freedom. Today, Butuzo's brother have been caught, right? He has been dealt with. Butuzo, gentle, they will be caught. You can't continue to defraud the people, and Simon will be caught. Because what that guy has done to our people, the people they have killed, Azuka will be caught. What these guys have done to our people, Ngozi Oraboze, all of them will be caught. What these guys have done to our people, all these people, what they have done to our people, the killings they have, this one they call Chukudi that kills for them, one they call, what's the other one's name that is in Ebonyi, that's Simon's relative, that is the one, they send the money to give other people. People like, is it Chika and other people, and Chukudi and all those people, all of them will be caught. If you are a killer in Biafra land, killing the people, you think you are not known. You are known. You can have your time now. Look at Hitler. Hitler was so powerful, but he had its time. It came to the time when he was caught or when he was killed. You can't sustain lies for a long time. So those of you who have allowed yourselves to become instruments in the hands of these people to kill our people, oh my God, these videos, if I play these videos to you, you'll be shocked. But I don't want to play such kinds of videos here because I know YouTube will block me. Finally, they'll banish my channel. Now, let me go to talk to you now about the easiest way to get our freedom. First, I told you that you must identify the source of freedom. First, identify the source of freedom. You must identify the source of freedom. Let it ring in your ears. I must identify the source of freedom. Freedom does not come from criminals. Freedom does not come from killing your people. Freedom does not come from lies. Just identify the source of freedom. First things first. Before you begin to talk how you can apply it, you must first identify the source of freedom. I was listening to a particular voice message that was sent to me not long ago, a community, I think Africa also in Abia State, where they told the people to stop eating anything that has to do with, they have their goats, they have their chicken and all of that. They should kill that chicken, anything that has to do with cows and all of that. I commend them so much. I was so happy to hear that they are enforcing it. And they said, if you are caught, and they said one particular politician came and started selling cow meat and all of this stuff, this Fulani meat and all of that, and they are dealing with, they're trying to handle that matter and all of that, that they have given it, and they have banned the sales of Fulani meat in their land, Africa. They say, but the truth here is, it is a good step. First, understand the source of freedom. The source of freedom is truth. Number one point, the source of freedom is truth. Nothing else. Freedom does not come from anything else but truth. Mango does not come from anything else but from mango seed. You can't have the mango fruit without having the mango seed first produce, germinate, and give you the fruit. So you must understand this. Let it sink. All these jumping around, jamboree everywhere. You're jumping. Oh, yes, water. You are deceiving yourself. If you are sensitive and discerning in the spirit, you will know the difference between truth and lies. There's always a thin line in between, because the agents of lies always want to dress as sheep. They want to dress as sheep with, the sheep clothing, put on the sheep garments and all of that. You see what Jacob did when he wore and took the guise of looking like Esau. When he pretended to be Esau, you can see that he was able to manipulate even a saint like his father. Let's call him a saint, because he was the chosen one. His father was Isaac, the one God said is going to have the children. But when Jacob disguised himself to the point of looking like Esau, the deficient side of Isaac couldn't recognize Esau. You know that deficient side? That side of his sight, he was no more seeing effectively. Some of us have been blinded. We are no more seeing effectively. That any criminal that comes around and shout Biafra, water, you follow. Because there is one side of you that is deficient. That sensory side, that part of the senses, that sensual instrument that is of sight. You don't have insight. That is what caused Isaac to bless Jacob instead of blessing Esau, whom he sent to go and bring something for him to eat. Venison for him to eat, and then he will bless him. Somebody else prepared the dish and give to him. He blessed the person because he had that sensual side of him that was faulty. And so he allowed his emotion control his senses at that point in time. That is what happened. When he touched Jacob's body, he said, this looks like Esau. But the voice is different. But anyways, it looks like Jacob. I think it looks like Esau. So maybe this should be Esau anyway. So his emotion, because he just feels like, because of his attachment to Esau and the blessing, because of the food now, he has been emotionally bought by that food that was given to him. So he feels that if the only person I told to bring me food is Esau, so which means that Esau is the one who is giving me food. So why should I? So his stomach became the connection to his emotion that blessed the wrong person. The same way some of you have become so emotionally deceived and you are following all these people jumping up around in social media. Look at Abba now. Why is the so-called criminal in Finland not controlling Abba? The military are still there controlling that place. And he tells you that he's a government. He doesn't have his local government in control. He doesn't have my community, one village, at least one small village, even his father's house, wherever he is from. I don't know whether he's truly a Biafran. If he's truly a Biafran, from his father's house, he doesn't have the control of his father's house. Truth is very essential. Like bunch of senseless keys. That's the way they are all acting. Really, set of shameless people. Yeah, very shameless people. And the painful thing is that people who claim to be reasonable, because of their emotional, what they want, desire, positions, just like Isaac, because he ate. You see, some people, some people that we started together that I thought had sense. Some elderly people, some of them pastors and all of that, claiming that they have sense. They started patronizing lies. There's one who was the chairman of Simon's so-called what do we call it, advisory board, when I was the secretary then. I don't know whether he's still the chairman. He's a pastor. I was shocked when he was telling me that Simon is doing it well, and that putting the faces of these people on the currency is good. We must honor these people, including my face. Told me that my face will be put on the currency. Nonsense. You see, about self-gain, what they will gain. About what they will gain. So I want to tell you guys, the first thing you must identify, look at one e-frog here. You know, I like e-frogs coming around. So keep posting my e-frog. Posting, keep sending me messages so that we will know that you are truly an e-frog. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says. Speak from the truth, from the point of spirit. Truth. Because you serve in spirit and in truth. Let me tell you, the first point, you must know the source of freedom. That's truth. So since we have identified truth, then we must decipher, or we must separate truth from lies. And how do we do that? We must understand what drives truth and what drives lies. When anything becomes selfless, it is actually a product of truth. When it is selfish, it is a product of lies. But the problem here is, how do people identify what is selfish and selfless? The makeup will determine. Now let me tell you. Look at Biafra land, because I want to make it easy for us. Look at Biafra land. The reason why the criminals are penetrating communities and killing people is because even the people in each community, is that true? So whenever you find something causing you to be disunited, that thing is a product of selfishness and lies, because it is something that you're not satisfied about. You don't want to agree with the other person. So which means that for us to agree to something, we must look at the differences that we have, and then look at the collective interest that we have, and then we agree to doing something that will favor the collective interest of the people. That is what truthful people do. Now, today, we have lots of cult boys around that Ihela, all those places, killing one another. Of course, I ignore such kinds of people. Thank you so much. I ignore, I'm doing my preaching. I don't have time for such kinds of morons. So now listen. Now, because we are divided, these people easily succeed in manipulating the system using the resources that is in the hands of the evil people. Because the truth about it is that it is always the good people that give the resources to the evil people to actually enslave them. It's an irony of life. The good people, for instance, of course, Ego, you're correct for him to comment this nonsense. It shows truth, they bite them. Keep hammering. Yeah, I will. Now, go to an average company. Those who are working hard, who are focusing, they want to actually do it to make sure that the company gets results so that they will be paid, are those who work out the resources that go to the management. Now, go to the management. You'll discover that management uses the money how they please. Am I correct? So when the company is a company belonging to somebody who is a criminal, he uses the good people to work out the resources and make money for himself, and uses the money to fund criminality. That is why you see that so many places where criminality is funded, it is actually the people that fund it. For instance, look at Nigeria. We all know, it's common sense. If I ask you today, what is your culture? You'll tell me whether you are Oduduwa culture, Igbo culture, or Jumu or Bagi or Bwari or Efik or whatever you call it. You have a definite culture that drives you and that makes you identify with some other people. What makes you and those ones one is the culture. That means what binds all of you is the common interest that you have in your culture. So, which means culture is not supposed to be a selfish narrative, right? Am I making sense? Anytime you hear of culture, it actually makes you believe in everybody than believing in only you succeeding or surviving. That is why in America, when America began, they built that nation on God, and they said, "In God we trust." We. That means our cultural approach to everything is connected to God and God alone. So it's helped them to understand that anything they are doing, they owe allegiance to everybody than to themselves. That is why America is able to be one of the best in the world today, even if we have the evil forces of darkness coming with different narratives to destroy it. The LGBTQ and other things. Now that system is collapsing because it's about, hey, my rights. I'm a gay, and so is this supposed to be your business? No, for the collective interest of the society, it's not, doesn't make sense, because being a gay is not natural. That is why we have male, female. It is two sides of the coin. You can't have the two sides of the coin the same. There must be, the coin has two sides, right? The two sides are not the same, even if they make one coin. So how can you have two men staying in the house and they say they are married? And naturally, the man is created to be a man, the woman is created to be a woman, and marriage is supposed to be about a man and a woman. And then the man says that he wants to marry a man, and somebody says this is right. Selfishness brings destruction. Look at Sudan. I keep giving that instance. The reason why Sudan is suffering today, the people are the ones suffering, is it not? They gave their support to RSF and other groups to be fighting for them. They never scrutinized these forces to know if they genuinely are for the people. Now they have taken over, they have taken power, they are in control. Now they are dealing with the people, they are fighting amongst themselves, the two forces, the RSF and the government, fighting, being supported by different players in the international community that are funding them. All they do is give them weapons. You want to fight, right? This one is evil, fight him. That one, the other one will tell this one, that one is evil, fight him. They keep fighting, they keep giving them weapons. And when they keep giving them weapons, those ones will be supplying them the natural resources to sustain the flow of weapons. Foolishness everywhere. Foolishness everywhere. Foolishness everywhere. Foolishness everywhere. Foolishness everywhere. These are the things we're talking about. So the first thing you must understand how to identify truth is when something is not. Now let me give you an instance, a practical instance for those of you who don't reason. So I will help you reason. If you are reasonable, go to the post of the so-called Finland freedom fighter. Go and check everything he posts. You will discover that anything that makes, anywhere his name is mentioned, and it's like it's mentioned to give him a kind of boost his ego, talking about when they talk about second in command or factional leader or all of this stuff. He will come and post it, and then he will post something under it as if he's making a jest of the whole thing. But he's indirectly trying to make you understand that it is about self. So if you want to discover truth, use Mazen Abekano as a measure. Mazen Abekano never does anything to promote himself. Check it out. In fact, he was almost killed in Kenya. He never promoted himself. He's still talking about it. Even in detention, he's saying he wants peace in the land. Because it is about the people, the interest of the people. Biafra land must be calm. The people must have their lives going well for them. That is an evidence of somebody who is selfless. If you look at how he said it, you will know that it is coming from the depth of his soul. He said, Biafra land must be calm. Biafra land must be calm. Biafra land must be calm. Such a man in that situation, in that critical situation, tortured for 8 days, brought back, beaten, became so weak that he couldn't even stand. They were holding him, even to snap a picture. They stood somewhere, somebody's hand, a DSS agent's hand, was holding him to stand upright so that he will be able, so that he doesn't fall. They wanted to put him upright so that he will look like everything is fine. And his face shows the agony, the pain, the torture, and everything. Yet, he said, no, whatever you want to offer me, I don't want it. It is about the freedom of people. I want the people free. I want the land calm. I want everything to be nice with the people. I want the people free. How else do you want to measure somebody who is on the path of truth? I better stay and wait for him to come out, because that is an assurance that he is the one who is on the path of truth. So that if I give any kobo or I offer my service, I know that I'm offering it to somebody who has been tested and proven to be for the people. But you people you just want to be everywhere. You are just driven emotionally. Yeah, let it happen. Water will kill them. It doesn't work. You are being manipulated and your monies are being taken from you. Look at the criminal in Finland. Because one man, one Russian, one Biafran who is fighting for the Russian, criticized them for using his video to try to gain points for himself, because he posted those videos. I told you people that time. He posted the video trying to make it and didn't make any comments, just to make it look like, so that you will conclude, and those of you within comment section will now say, wow, Simon is working it. He's doing it out. He's having agents everywhere. Then you will say it and the other people will now hear it and you will now believe it. Oh, that's true. He will never say anything. Why didn't he counter those people? No, I posted these things for you to see what is happening, what our brother is doing wherever he is. He has nothing to do with me. I just posted it. He didn't. He was silent. When the man now countered that post and all of that, he now came out to begin to try to destroy the person. The other 2 days or 3 or 4 days ago, he posted that the man has been killed. So he's excited, did not according to his design, or somebody who didn't give him the opportunity to use his followers are happy commenting. Hey, yes, he's no more posting. He has not debunked his death. He has not. Jesus Christ. Yes, Ego, respect to the wonderful man MNK. Honestly, sometimes when I think about him, I feel like shedding tears. I prefer to remain under the slavery until he's out. Let's just stay under Nigeria and wait for him to be out, because he is the only proper character representing, or the true sign of freedom, who will go through such kind of beating and pain and all of that and still stand to talk. I want everybody to be calm. I want freedom. I want my people to be free. I want Biafra land to be calm. And he's still saying it from the depth of his heart after the torture. Unless you are not sensitive. If you are sensitive, if you see that picture of Mazen Namdekano a few days after he was brought from Kenya, you'll know that this one, the pains in every part of his body was paining him. I'm talking about real pain. You will see that he had serious, his head, look at the head, his head was hit. His head was hit by serious things. His head was hit with, I mean, they tortured this man. You will know that this man, all over his body, he was in pain, but he was still standing strong. I want Biafra and calm. But look at all these morons. Because a man who is fighting for the Russians refused to support a criminal in Finland, he is mocking the man on Twitter, and his people are jubilating. Does that not tell you that these ones are criminals and they are not on the path of truth? Who will rejoice because somebody doesn't agree with you? You want him dead. That is how they accuse. Look at the video. Yeah. Oh my God, look at the video of Gentle and his group killing Biafrans. Killing Biafrans. From this crime minister's childish behavior to the very childish behavior. They can't even decode. How can they decode? They are emotionally driven, just like Isaac was emotionally driven and went to bless Jacob instead of Esau because of his stomach. Emotion. Our people want freedom, so they are emotionally driven. Anybody who comes in sheep clothing and tell them anything, they jump. They jump at it. You want the man dead. A man comes out. Don't use my video to shine. I'm not part of your group. I am not part of your group. Why are you putting my video to make it look like I'm part of you? And why are you using me to make a point amongst your people? Oh, hell was let loose. This man is a stupid man. This man is, you look at him, he doesn't want freedom. This man is this. Oh, now they are posting the man is dead. Can you imagine? Now let me tell you. The easiest way, I may not finish this today. Let's go. The easiest way to gain freedom. Number one, I told you that the first thing you must understand the source of freedom. That is truth. Then number two, we must go back and now begin to think community. Listen, every Biafran must go back to their community. I'm not saying you should travel wherever you are come to your, no. Wherever you are, connect with your community. You must begin to think community instead of self. Don't even think of the whole Biafran. Think of your community first. Let everybody concentrate on their communities. I'm giving you a very simple way to be free. Then, when you have now come together as a community and identified your common interests rather than your own interest, Nami go be the leader. Nami go be the leader of Umona. Nami go be the leader. No, you take things appropriately. It is about everybody. It is not about you. Ego, no mind the e-frog. It's good. It's good for them to be here. Allow them flow. You know, when you don't have reason, why are they coming to my platform now? If I'm saying nonsense, why are they coming? Why must they comment? Because they have, you think they paying them very well. Very soon now they will say how many people are watching. They will be reminding me of how many people are watching. I'm back now. I was wondering what's going on. The network just ceased. You know, I mean, the house network is always bad, you know, but if I'm in the office is always effective, you know, more than anyways, even if it's not so clear. So when intellectuals talking, intellectually ignoramus is commenting. That's their job. You know, their job is to, because they have to prove to you that they don't even understand what you're saying. They have to tell you, they have to show that they're daft. That's what we must continue to teach. Because the truth about it is that they have to say something for you to identify them. So when they say something, we identify them, then we keep teaching, because that teaching will continue. As long as they're here, they will keep hearing. And those who will listen later. You must come as a now, for instance, I am from a part of Biafra land. I have my people. Madam Ego here is from a part of Biafra land. She knows her people. Some of you watching from a part of Biafra land, you know your people. Now, let's identify our communities. Then let's now all go have a critical brainstorming session with the people of our community. First, let's set a structure. What are the priorities? Number one, the young people in each community, majority of them are jobless and not having hope for tomorrow. Some of them live from hand to mouth. That is the first priority, number one priority. Two, because of this situation, they are vulnerable to be used by people who are in positions, whether political positions or otherwise, whatever position of interest that has to do with a few persons' interest, of the interest of a few. They are vulnerable to be used by these people as thugs against that particular community they are from, or against other communities. So you must understand that the priority is one, the young people, majority of them are hungry, things are difficult. Two, they're vulnerable. Three, our ladies are also vulnerable because these so-called rich people who have the monies to manipulate the system and to continue to do things for them, their selfish purposes, would use these poor girls because they know that they are desperate for money. And ladies, being emotional beings, easily manipulated, will fall for them as soon as they show them 50,000 bundle or 20,000 bundle, or buy them iPhone XR or whatever iPhone, or promise them to take them for shopping or whatever it is. As soon as they're getting constant flow of money every day, maybe after one sex, these little girls who have not seen 2,000 before, 1,000 and all of that, will be jumping around because consistently they'll be getting that money. They'll keep going, and before you know, they become pregnant and begin to give birth to nonsense in our communities. People like Gentle Butuzo and other people working for the criminal in Finland, who is also a product of Fulani Fulani lineage, cutting the heads of our people, cutting their necks like they are cutting the necks of goats. So these are the priorities. 4, what then would your community do to secure the interest of these young people? Let me tell you something. You see, when you solve insecurity in your community, you are prepared for freedom. The first thing we want to do is to solve insecurity. And how do we solve it? We must protect the interest of every young person in our communities. All this jumping around with water, this, that, this, you are just being deceived. Few people are taking your monies from you and eating your monies. By December, your eye go open. Nothing. They will just come to Finland, gather, eat, chop, carry themselves to hotels. All of them, all those women abroad, all of them, that all they do is, sleep with men. They will just come there, video themselves after eating, drinking. Simon will take some to hotel. The other ones will take some hotel. That's how they share themselves, sleep with themselves. Your money don't go. Then they will show you video. Biafra freedom has been declared. It's just like I come to this video. I tell you now, today, I and my people, we have declared Biafra today. Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense, because they said talk is cheap, right? Staying in Finland to say that they will declare this day by the that's what he's going to do. Just watch. By the power vested in me as the prime, of course it's about self, as the prime minister of Biafra government in exile, I declare Biafra freedom today, Biafra independence today. All of them will jubilate and take their camera. You know, Odogu, call him Odogu, and they go around him. He'll sit down like a boss. They'll come around him, snap pictures and all of that. The security men from the security company that have been hired in Finland to be securing him will stand behind him and stand. He will now begin to give you indirect, ideas to make you think that it is that is giving him those security guards. Board that rented those security men. Anywhere he's going, they go with him. It is a private security company. They even in his house they put camera there, and of course we talked about giving him a body camera. So it is anybody could do it. If you have the money, you can have all these security companies give you money and give you guards if you have the money. So the plan, so it is not Finland government that is giving that security. It's actually the so-called Fulefus in that advisory board. And those Nigeria agents like Ngozi Arabosi and all those people, they are the ones who arrange. I was there when we arranged that, so it is not. So they will stand by his side, and he will make you feel like these are security men from the Finland government. No, they are not. They are a private organization, private company, security company. I'm going to be having a program today under my NGO, and I'm going to be also hiring private security men, and they're going to work with me. So I might have two with me, private security men. It's not money killer now. I will do it this September. My program is coming up to help. My program is not about self. My program is about supporting the less privileged. If you look at my cap, you see the name of my organization here. So I'm we look inwards. The interest of our young men, the interest of our people, the interests of our ladies. These are the situations we have. The problem is one, our ladies are always instruments of infiltrating our land. I have a friend, a lady friend, and one time she told me that her father is the chief imam of her, and where there. I was surprised. They go know who I'm talking about, chief imam, and I was surprised, an Igbo man. And I looked at the father went to marry a Fulani guy who has a Fulani woman who has a child already from another Fulani man. That boy now came to the house. The man gave him everything, including the house was willed to him before he died. The boy is now controlling their family. And from her, I understood that there are so many families in there that their children are actually, from Fulani women or something. So they have infiltrated the families. Now, this is very dangerous. This is where the danger is. Our ladies must be taken into a plan must be put in place to stop this nonsense. Why would you have people like Gentle and Butuzo and all these people cutting people's head like they're cutting goats? It's because they have a line coming from the Fulani. It's either politically they have a Fulani, blood in their vein, politically because they're agents, those who are sponsoring them are Fulanis, or they are by birth connected to them, so they are carrying out that natural. How can a Biafran take a knife and be cutting his fellow Biafran lady or men, cutting their neck, and then they butcher them, begin to butcher their chest, open their chest, begin to remove parts, cut off the hand, cut off. Simon's men, Gentle. I have the videos. I can't play them here because if you go to private groups in WhatsApp, you'll see them. I think some of them have been shared. Gentle and Butuzo. These are the people working for Simon. You think anybody around Mazin Namikano does that? Oh, Lord have mercy. That day, they must hunt that person. They must bring that person. They must bring that person down. Mazin Namikano will tell them. And he will make a public announcement. I saw this video from an ESN person doing this. Mazin Namikano was speaking. Those times when they heard stories, when he was hearing stories of some people doing some stuff, what did he do? He came live. He said, anybody from today, any cult, anybody who stands as a cult in this place, that person must be dealt with. And this criminal in Finland is all he keeps doing keeps exciting you and collecting your monies. I will continue on this note. The easiest way, I'll give you the part two, maybe by tomorrow. I think I'm going to do another one tomorrow by God's grace, maybe by this time, by 12 noon Biafra time, or yes, 12 noon Biafra time also. And I'm going to give you more information, 12 noon or 1 p.m. Biafra time, 1 p.m. Biafra time, so that you can have, freedom is simple. It's just for us to understand what to do. Not all this social media jumping around. I'm going to give you more information. Thank you so much, all. Madam Ego, thank you so much for the messages for the here. Those of you who are e-frogs and all of that, you have heard the message. Take it to your boss. Of course, your boss might be here. One of these names might be him, because he always follows me everywhere. Your so-called boss in Finland. He always follows me everywhere with fake names and all of that. I have a WhatsApp group where I am that he calls himself Grace there. He keeps posting things and all of that. I keep laughing. I refuse to leave. I refuse. Nobody's removing him. He's still the constituting nuisance. We keep allowing him. You see, those who are on the part of truth are not threatened by the lies. So we don't rush to take you off or do anything. We allow you flow. Just keep flowing. But we will allow you to be there. We'll keep preaching the gospel to you because it is heaping the coal of fire on your head. We'll keep giving you the narrative of the gospel. If you take it, no. In the end, if you don't take it, it will destroy you. That is what it is. I am secure by the power of the Most High. Nobody can harm me. You can't harm me. I'm on the path of truth. I'm born for this purpose, to be on the path of truth and liberate souls. That's why today I do projects that help souls all over the nations of the world. Thank you all. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of the day, the weekend. And God bless you very good. Ego.